Greetings, mathematicians. Today we're looking at example 1b. This is going to be a little bit more involved than 1a. However, we follow the same steps, factor, numerator, and denominator. So let's get started with that. In the numerator, I have 4 as a GCF, so 4 times, I'm going to emphasize the multiplication, w minus 5p. In the denominator, I have 2 as a GCF, so 2 gets factored out, times, in parentheses, w squared minus 25p squared. And because I'm multiplying another fraction, I can extend my fraction here. This quadratic, or excuse me, this trinomial, it's not a quadratic trinomial, but it is a trinomial. And it can be factored like a quadratic trinomial. So I'm going to do that at the bottom. I'll actually do that over here. I'm just going to do AC method on this one here. So my A value is 2, my B value is 7, my C value is negative 15, my product of AC is negative 30. And I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 30, but when I add them, give me positive 7. So that's going to be positive 10. Positive 10 and negative 3. Multiply those two, you get negative 30. Add these two, you get positive 7. So these two numbers are going to help me split the middle term of 7wp. So I'm going to write 2w squared plus 10wp minus 3wp minus 15p squared. So all I did was rewrite the trinomial into a 4-term polynomial, and now I can go and because my A value is not 1, I do need to continue AC method with factoring by grouping. So in my first group, the GCF is 2w. So 2w gets factored out. What remains is w plus 5p. In my second group, I have a negative 3p that can be factored out. What remains is w plus 5p. And double check, negative 3p times w, negative 3wp. Negative 3p times 5p is negative 15p squared. This 4-term polynomial has just been rewritten as a 2-term binomial with a common binomial factor of w plus 5p. So that is going to get factored out. And what remains in the other factor is what's left, 2w minus 3p. So these two are actually these two factors of this trinomial are going to be multiplied to the numerator here. So w plus 5p times 2w minus 3p, and in parentheses, 2w minus 3p. And then in the denominator, I have 3w plus 9p. The GCF is 3, and that's going to be multiplied, so times 3 times w plus 3p. And now I can actually start thinking about what can be factored further. So for example, this binomial w squared minus 25p squared can be factored further. It's a difference of squares. This 4 can actually be written with its prime factors 2 times 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Write that one more time. So it's 2 times 2 times w minus 5p times w plus 5p times 2w minus 3p. In the denominator, 2 times, and then w squared minus 25p is a difference of squares, so it's going to factor to its conjugates, w plus 5p times w minus 5p, and then times 3 times w plus 3p. Now I can start to simplify. So this 2 divided by that 2 simplifies to 1 over 1. This 5 minus wp divided by that 5 minus wp is 1 over 1. 5 plus w plus 5p divided by w plus 5p, 1 divided by 1. And, I should put the parentheses on here. So what I have left that remains is 2 times w minus 3p. So that's going to remain in my numerator, 2 times 2w minus 3p. divide that by, and what remains here, 3 times w plus 3p. So that's what remains, 3 times w plus 3p. So that right there would be my final simplified answer.